What is up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here. We are back in the world of Dawn of the Void, and I'm still alive. Haven't died yet. Things are mostly going well. Did make a few more things of crops. Went ahead and processed all of our iron and our gold. Got that ready to go. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into Clockwork. Now, I don't know how far we'll get into Clockwork today. I'd like to get fairly far, but it kind of depends more on, just our luck and success. We'll see. All right, so we need some brass ingots. We just made the iron gear, and it required the iron gear, obviously, and then just some planks, which is pretty easy to do. I am going to need to open our area up just a bit more, though, for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of take Clockwork back over here behind our staircase a little bit. Now, like I said, I don't have long-term plans for this place, so it's going to be kind of sloppy, and it's just going to be the bare minimums to kind of function. But I do kind of want it to be, at least functional. So we'll put that there. All right, so we need brass. I don't remember how to make brass because it's been about 2 weeks since I've had to make it. There we go. That's what I figured. So we need 3 iron and 1 gold. That gives us all the brass. That should, Yep, there we go. It's going to give us a lot more brass. Now we need a mainspring. Mainsprings are pretty easy. If I recall, do I have sticks on me? I do not anymore. Hang on. There we go. Actually getting kind of low on wood, which kind of has me scared. We do have wood outside, which isn't really that big a deal, but again, would really rather not have to mess with it if I don't have to. All right, there's our mainspring. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And now it wants us to make a framework. Should be pretty easy as well. There it is. If I can remember how to make the damn thing. All right, iron and brass. We have plenty of both. Go ahead and click that. There we go. There's 1 framework. And we're not going to make any extras. We're just going to stick with the defaults for now. I am going to go ahead and go with the extra hearts, even though we can't really use them yet. I do plan on using them in the future once we get duct tape. That brings us up to 7 hearts, which is almost enough for 2 more full lives, which at the moment we're at 3, so that'll kick us up to 5. Had to do a little basic mathematics there. All right, so we need to make a standard clockwork. So let's come back over here. Whoops, wrong setup. I am really trying to remember the basic clockwork stuff. If I recall, dude, I honestly don't remember at all. Like my brain I've literally just spaced when it comes to basic clockworks. I'm sure it will tell me here. It's one of those things that, you remember how to do, and then, it just, just need the gears. So we just need a basic gear to put in there. That's fine. What do we have a lot of? Let's go with, let's go with silver. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll spare us just a little bit, because I don't want to do an iron gear if I don't have to. So put that there, put that like that. That gives us 1 gear. Pull that out. And then we just put the gear in here. Whoops. Put the gear in here, right? No? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's not going to work. I need to remember how to do this. Oh, Jesus. I done fucked up, folks. Give me a minute to remember how to do this. So I'm a dummy. Made the wrong kind of gear. Which means we basically just wasted materials that we didn't have to waste, in my infinite wisdom, once again. So we're going to go copper this time. Jesus. I was like, I thought that was how you did it. And then I'm like, oh, yeah. God dang it. All right, there we go. We're going to make the appropriate kind of gear now. There we go. There's a copper gear. Stupid wrong gear. Unfortunately, I don't think I can uncraft that, which is going to be a real detriment. We will eventually use that thing, just not anytime soon. So, all right, we need a winding box. Once we get into thermal expansion, assuming we live that long, we will be using that rather heavily. But we got to get there first. All right, clear that. There goes our winding box. All right. I guess we'll just take a random one. I bet he still hasn't fixed the mainspring thing, has he? Nope. Hasn't fixed it. And as far as I can tell, there's no way to fix this. This thing. I need to tweet him that real quick just so I can remind him, and I'll pick up there because as far as I know, there's no way for me to fix this spring. Yeah, So let me tweet him that real quick. Which quest was that? It's the Tensions Are High Winding Box quest. All right, splendid. All right, so that's tweeted up. Wanted to make sure he knew that. Let's go ahead and open up this reward bag real quick, see what we get. Oh, pretty flowers. Yeah, you know, that's just what I was asking for. You know, I was hoping we get some pretty flowers. I really was. It just makes everything prettier, right? Right. All right, let's add that. That gives us 2 extra lives once we get some duct tape, which we will eventually, one of these days, in a galaxy far, far away. All right, so we've got our winding box done. Let's go ahead and make the pickaxe. I'm going to go ahead and drop the winding box. I guess I'll set that to the right, and we'll do the disassembler in the middle. All right, so we want the pick, which is right here. So 2 brass ingots, framework, and the sticks. Perfect. I think I just put the sticks up, didn't I? Yes. Might as well take these out as well, because we're going to be using them to make quite a few things real quick. Now this time, if you've watched the live stream, and some of you have, some of you haven't, you'll know that last time I went through and I blitzed all of the, what do you call them? All of the tools. And the nice thing about doing that was it gave us a ton of different gears to kind of work with. The problem is a lot of these tools and everything are basically useless until you finish putting all the rest of the stuff in there. So I'm not sure. I'm still hesitant on, you know, kind of whether or not I want to do that again. The benefits for it are it gives us access to a ton of gears. The drawback is we don't gain access to really... We don't gain... Wait, I did pick up that quest, right? Yes. Okay, just wanted to make sure. It requires a lot of iron. So, and until I get the mainsprings and the frameworks, it does me like no good. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do yet. This has given us quite a few. Let's see, we've got a steel gear, a silver gear. We've got a bronze gear. We got a lead gear. We got 2 emerald gears, and then we've got the other gear there. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we have room for 2 more if I wanted to make it. So what we'll do is, let's look. If we make the sword, that's going to give us a diamond gear. Axe, it's going to give us steel gear and a legendary gear. If we go with shovel, bronze gear and legendary. So this is, let's see, steel gear, quality 80, speed 20, and bronze gear, quality 50, So bronze is going to give us, so it's basically the difference between a shovel and I think we're going to go with the axe. Yeah. Then again, if we go with the shovel, the reason the shovel's nicer is it uses less materials. Yeah, because the shovel just requires this, whereas the other one requires, I believe it's that. So, choices. So basically the difference we're going to be looking at is one's going to break things slightly faster and one is going to lose durability slightly better. So both of them have their benefits. I'm going to go ahead and spin the materials on the axe. And the reason I'm going with the axe is it's a little bit better medium ground. No, never mind. Forget I said that. It's better hardcore. Never mind. I said nothing. It's not like it's on tape or anything and you guys can prove it. All right, let's break that down. All right, let's come over here and we're going to make a clockwork. So we are going to use the legendary gear. Legendary gives us 70. Wow, that's badass. Somebody said, you know what? Hang on. Does it all pop out? Yeah, it does. I hate it that it all pops out. How much would it be for us to make the shovel as well? That would give us 2 legendary gears. Now, the reason I believe, and again, there is very little information out there about Clockwork, which is part of the reason it's so hard to understand this mod pack, or not this mod pack, but the mod is, let's look at a framework. Framework, where are you? I just made it and I've already forgotten how to do it. Yeah, we've got enough. Let's do it. Memory, from what I understand, allows you to find memory, I believe. I may be wrong about that. We'll take out the shovel. There we go. That's going to give us the other one, the access to the other one. There we go. Boom. That gives us 2 legendary traits, which is going to give us a memory of 500. And I believe that's going to allow us to find memory fragments throughout the world. I may be wrong about that. So if I put this here, you can see we are now up to 140 in memory 500. So after that, it's kind of a toss-up. 3 steel gears is going to give us an absolutely ridiculous amount of quality, as is a lead gear. We are going to need some speed, though. So let's use both emeralds. That gives us, what, speed 320? And I guess we'll use that one right there, and then, let's see, 2550 or 5025. So it's basically the inverse. And then this one's like a happy medium. This is a ridiculous setup. I think we got pretty good quality here. I am kind of worried about speed. So let's go ahead and just use a silver gear right there. So that's going to give us a 545, 380 with a memory of 500. That's a pretty badass little pick there. All right, so we take that. We're going to put the pick here. We're going to put this here, and there we go. You can see that. Chance of extracting time sand. There you go. 1 in 113. That's what I was looking for. So because we have a memory of 500, that's going to allow us to get this time sand stuff. And the time sand is basically the second tier, the second area of this Clockwork mod. And basically you use that to further enhance everything. All right, we'll put that there. That gives us the tension. Boom. Pull that out. Now keep in mind, this tension rod right off the bat is going to suck ass. But that's okay. Let's charge this thing up. And I'm hoping this is going to be lickety-split, no shit. I'm hoping. Really do hope. Because we are going to need... We're going to need some pretty quick mining. All right, let's come back upstairs. Is it still out fucking... Oh my god. It's still out there. Oh, we got a bloat fly too. I don't know what this little thing is. It reminds me of a Thaumcraft wisp. But it's not. So yeah, we are not going out here. This place is bad. It's bad news bears. We're gonna seal it back in. Yeah, we should be fine. We should be fine. I don't think we're gonna have to worry about anything really coming down to kill us. Hopefully. We do have the gears for more stuff, but we do not have the iron. So even if I wanted to improve further than what we've got, you can see we actually have no iron at the moment. And that's going to be a problem. We've got pretty much everything else, but we don't have any iron ingots to really work with. And that's going to be unfortunate. Because we really do need some more iron to progress. Because without a mainspring, you need a framework and you need a mainspring, basically, to make these things go. And obviously the gears. So we've obviously front-loaded this. Wow, just breaking 2 things burned through that quality that fast. Jesus. So what we got to do here now is basically jack up this mainspring. And the only way to do that is by adding to it. Now what I can do is I can kind of, because, you know, like unlike tinkers and things like that, you're not going to level this pickup by using it. You can see we've already burnt it out. So what we're going to do is I'm going to recharge it. Wait for it. There we go. And we're going to make a stone pick. Well, we've already got one. We're going to use this, and we're going to kind of basically just go hunting. We do have a food source now with our crops rolling, so that should keep us going pretty much good. I'm going to save these berries. Now, the reason I'm saving the berries is I'd like to extend our farm more, and the reason I want to do that is we eventually will be running out of bone meal. We've pretty much already done that now, and if we have a wide variety of these things laying around, then I can extend the farm out, and instead of just having, you know, what, the 9 crops that we have, I'll be able to extend that to like 10 or 15 or 20 or, you know, however many we want to use. And the more you have, the more tick rate options you have, which means the more chances of it becoming a mature crop or progressing towards a mature crop. So unfortunately, since the swamp is kind of hell on earth, I mean, hell on earth is kind of an unfair statement, but since it is still nasty, we are going to bypass the swamp and basically just keep on digging and see if we can't get past everything, see if we can't make a little bit more progress, and I'm going to see if I can't find some more iron. We can find some more iron, we can continue to make the rest of our clockwork tools, and that's basically where we're at. All right, so we've been out and about doing some stuff, and I've gathered quite a bit of ores. Not a ton. This is everything we have, by the way. I did find a bunch more diamonds and a few other things. But we have added to our little stockpile here. And one of the interesting things is I'm noticing that this right here, our pickaxe, the memory value, that is what's extracting time sand. So the more, it seems like the more memory we have, the more chance we have of extracting time sand. And it seems to be, at least to some extent, also based on our EXP level. So the more EXP we have, it seems to possibly increase that. And there's a timer on here. You're going to see it says 1 minute and 25 seconds. I don't know exactly what that does, but I believe that is the time sand that we have extracted 1 minute and 25 seconds of time sand. Now, apparently there's some stuff we can do with this. And like I said, unfortunately, this mod is not very well documented, which makes it kind of hard to kind of figure out. But I am interested in seeing what we're going to get here. So we are going to go ahead and make the Clockwork sword. This is going to give us a diamond gear. I mean, that's got some benefits and some drawbacks to it. And then eventually I'd like to make all of the Clockwork armor as well. But I don't think we've quite got enough stuff to do that yet. So we are going to need some more frameworks, which means we're going to need some more brass. So I'm going to go ahead and make one more thing of brass. That should give us, hopefully, enough. So it's giving us 14. All right, so we are going to need at least one framework. I'm going to do the framework first for the sword. We have enough for 2 frameworks without making more stuff. So I'm going to leave that where it is for now. And we're going to make the sword, which I think it only requires, I think it's one piece, one framework. Oh, dear God, that's expensive. At least it's only one framework, but it is going to require more brass, which is fine. We'll yank this out. Perfect. So it's boom, boom, boom. We put you here, yank you out. I will need a stick. There we go. Just need one. All right, and that's going to give us the sword. Now, I am going to go ahead, I believe, and make this functional here pretty quickly. And the reason for doing so is I feel that we're going to need, what do you call it, a weapon soon. Now, I don't know how well this weapon's going to compare to some of the others, but it should be decent. Now, for each of the armors here, again, let's go Clockwork. For each of these, we're also going to need... Jesus, that's expensive. Dear God. Like, this mod is just insanely expensive. Like, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. All right, we're going to do 2 more. I don't think we're going to have enough to get what we want, even with all of the gathering that I've done. So let's see, where is it? I always lose the framework. I don't know why. There it is. So we slap that on there. We can make 2 of them. That's going to basically suck almost all of our resources out. Now, I can do that if we want to. The problem is if we go that route, then we're not going to have enough resources to utilize the stuff that we've got. So you can see we already have 4 gears here. Do we have any more gears hidden away somewhere? And sadly, we can't use this mainspring. I would love to use that mainspring. Really wish I hadn't screwed that up either, because we could use that too. You know what? We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, because as much as I'd like to, it seems to be a bit of a waste. So what we're going to do is we're going to make another mainspring. That's going to give us the ability to actually charge the Clockwork sword. So we'll go like this. That's going to give us another mainspring right here. And then we're going to go and put together a fairly crappy sword. We come over here. Whoops. There we go. And then we'll just do like 3 on top here. We'll do one of these, and then we'll do this right here. Now, unfortunately, this isn't going to give us any memory on this, which I guess is fine. But it is going to give us a functional clockwork. And because it's a functional clockwork, that means we're going to be able to do this into that, which gives us the sword, and we put that there. We put the mainspring there, and that gives us pretty much everything we need to see. So, and then we can come over here and charge this little boy up. Good God, look at that tension. There we go. So the question now is, wow, there's no blocking on this either, which I guess is fine. It's funny though. In our previous playthrough, I struggled with the with iron and gold, and in this playthrough, we're mainly just struggling with gold. So, yeah, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. So to get into this, we're probably going to need another stack or so of gold. Now, the main issue that we're running into is I can't find a good area. Now, I'm going to go ahead and sprint down here just so I can show you guys kind of how far we've dug. You're going to notice there's a couple concentrations of mobs as we move down here. Big concentration on the far right. There's a spawner up here on the far left. Somewhere. Yeah, it's back behind us and to the left. It just popped up there as we went by. And there's a couple more spawners up here that we've noticed. You guys are kind of getting an idea for how long we've run. My guy actually got tired. So I went up here and kind of explored a little bit. We're going to go ahead and showcase this again. I don't think I've shown you guys this yet. This is a different biome. Now up here, it's relatively safe. Relatively. But there are some critters up here. There were a few bloat flies. And I kind of want to head over there to that area. And the reason I want to go... Whoa. This was not here before. There's also a spawner over here too, which I don't want to mess with. So we're going to head back down. I did want to show you guys, kind of how far we've come. And this isn't even all of it. Let's put that there. I think that blocks everything. I think. Yeah. We actually bypassed that and continued down. Another spawner right over there. It's actually down below. I might be able to show you guys safely. Maybe. Down there. See him? See, there's some ore. There was a spidery leg down there. There they are. Now they're spawning. All right. Cover that back up. And then this right here was the whole cave system that I found. Now, this is the first cave system that we've located that actually had some decent ores and a decent size. So you can see here, I've basically dug this whole place out. This is a nice little cave system, but unfortunately, I've dug it out. So it's not going to do us much good. Unfortunately, you can see how far we've come, basically in a straight line in this direction. And to give you guys kind of an idea of how far we've come, this is max zoom out, by the way. I'm trying to find the waypoint. Yeah, I can't even see the waypoint. And I don't think there's a way to zoom in. Yeah, it will not let me zoom out any further. We do have a waypoint out there somewhere. At least I think we do. That may have been in the previous pack version, so I may have to go back and find it. All right, we'll just get back to running. That gives you an idea. So I basically am saying all of that to basically say it's time for us to move again. I think we've come about as far as we can come in this little area here. If we keep going further, we're going to start getting far enough away from our base that it's going to take like a substantial amount of food to get back. And I'd really rather not do that if I can help it. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to pack up all of our stuff and relocate. We'll make sure that we have... Did I grab 2 buckets of water? I did. Thankfully, though, with all of this stuff, we do have enough stuff to make at least 1 more chest. I thought I had a chest on me. Is it in the bag? It is. It is. There's no more ores in here. I just want to make sure. I am going to do a little bit more cleaning up, make sure that we have everything sorted out, and then we are going to relocate to the end of the cave system that I've dug out. And we're going to have to go substantially further as well, because where we're at now, basically you saw how because I spent so much time down there mining. I spent about an hour mining down there. We've accumulated a bit of taint or void, whatever you want to frickin' call it. And because of that, we're going to be running into problems, obviously with usable and habitable space. So we're going to have to expand, get that thing opened up and kind of expand out down there. So I will be doing that, most of it all off camera. Thankfully, we've got enough food supply now that food should no longer be a problem. I will be expanding our farm once we get to our new location, and then we should be able to make it into the rest of Clockwork here shortly. Now, once I've got our Clockwork set up and finished, we should be able to get up on the surface and start doing a little fighting with some monsters. Not that I want to fight with the monsters if I don't have to. We do have some quests to kill some monsters, and on top of that, the surface is absolutely the best place to get materials. So I don't think there's a Clockwork bow, though. Yeah. It would be really nice if there was a Clockwork bow. Now, I don't know what a bug swatter does. I'm interested to see if this bug swatter does any kind of critical damage to... oh, wow. That's kind of cool. I'm not sure if this bug swatter will do any specific damage to the critters that we're fighting. If it does, then that might actually be interesting. But as you can see, well, you guys can't see, but I'm pressing click, and there's no way for me to pull it up to see what it does. So, no idea. And the other thing that kind of sucks is our sword here is set up, but it doesn't tell me how much damage it does. So this sword might actually do less damage than the sword that we have. So it kind of blows. It kind of blows. And again, unfortunately, it's not one of those things that I can just research. So what we may end up doing is I may stick here and move in another direction. Because we've already explored basically 1,000,000 miles in that direction. I think we may just go this direction. I kind of like the feeling of that. We'll see. We'll see. It'll depend on how I feel in the next recording session. But that being said, I do want to thank all of you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this series. If you do, please slap that like button. Consider sharing this series with a friend of yours or a community of yours. Any word of mouth is a huge help. Massive help. If every one of you guys, about 1,000 of you guys watch this video, if 1,000 of you told, one friend, that would double our viewership and it would be a huge help. So do consider telling somebody. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. And I'll catch you guys in the next clip.